We are finally back with somewhat of a sizable patch, Update 3.10. In this patch, we've got some huge nerfs to heavy, some really big changes in cash out, and for those of you that are Gold 1 in World Tour, they just made getting Emerald a little easier. So before we get started, if you found this video informative, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and let's just jump into it. Alright, so we're going to start with the elephant in the room. Heavy receives a massive nerf to Dome Shield, decreasing its duration from 12 to 5.5 seconds. The dev note here says that apparently the Dome Shield was intended as a way for temporary protection that would synergize with supportive actions, rather than just using the Dome Shield to essentially steal an objective. Now I understand where the devs are coming from with this nerf, because if you're solo queuing and going up against a team with 2 heavies or even a 3 stack of heavies, it can be very oppressive to break through that defense. Because yes, while now more than ever it's easier to burn those shields, you have to remember in order to do that, there has to be some sort of team synergy or communication. You're just not going to solo burn 2 dome shields or even 3 by yourself. You're going to need a teammate to help you focus fire or constantly be carrying some sort of glitch device with you, just to break through the enemy's defense. However, as it stands, I think this nerf is a bit heavy-handed, especially when you get into the higher ranks where you're more than likely to run into pre-made teams that will make short work out of the dome shields every time. And this even happened before the nerfs. Now, my opinion may change after a few days of testing and seeing how viable it truly is, but you guys let me know in the comments. What do you think? Is the nerf just right, or is it the last nail in the coffin for heavy? Anyhow, up next we've got the goo grenade, with a decrease to the time it takes to destroy the goo from 12 seconds to 9 seconds. In cash out, they're making changes for those that are defending, giving them a bonus for teammates that are down to spawn in after 15 seconds instead of 30, which may or may not be a good change. It's one of those things where you have to see how the game flows while playing in order to see if it improves it or not. Now in World Tour, this is a really good change. That's just in my opinion, of course. They made Emerald a little bit more attainable from changing the win requirement to 3 wins instead of 10. So now you need a total of 63 wins instead of 75 for Emerald 1 and only 3 wins to get to Emerald 4. As for Specializations, again, Heavy is going to get the brunt of this. Goo Gun has received the same treatment as the Goo Grenade, allowing fire to destroy it now in 9 seconds rather than 12. And another nerf to Heavy, the Winch Claw reducing its range from 17 meters to 12 meters. The dev notes say that it'll better reflect the intent of the Winch Claw by allowing it to only engage in short range fights. Now, moving on to weapons. I'm sure a lot of you will be happy about this, or at least the majority of those on Reddit. The throwing knife's primary fire has been reduced from 125 RPM to 107 RPM. On a side note, I personally am happy that I waited to do a masterclass on this, because this nerf may completely change how the weapon is played. And I'm not gonna lie, I'd be very, very salty if I put out the video and the next day this patch rolled out. So let's get back to it. Now on to content and bug fixes. I'm just gonna go through the stuff that I think is important or going to directly affect you. Starting with them updating the mini roulette skin for the Lewis gun so it is compatible with the new animations that released in the store not too long ago. In game modes, your mines and charges will now stick to the surface of the vault correctly. They fixed an issue where zip lines would not properly reset after mid-game and ranked terminal attack, and now when reconnecting into World Tour, loadout choices should be correct. They fixed an issue where players were not able to use items from the start of the round and throughout the match, like the healing beam for instance. And now we're making our way back to the Winch Claw, the issue where the action could get cancelled if the player jumped right when getting hit, as well as the issue where the wrong target could get pulled if it was close to the intended target, have been fixed. The grapple hook can once again attach to walls that are out of bounds. They made even more improvements to the anti-cheat, as well as made performance optimizations to the game on all platforms. And that's pretty much everything you need to know about this patch. I don't want to take any more of your time. I hope you guys found this video informative, and I'm going to get back to working on these masterclasses. Peace and love, guys, and I'll see you next time.